A secret meeting about you ended in tears. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, and the universe is speaking directly into your spirit in this very moment. Somewhere beyond your sight, beyond your control, a quiet meeting took place, and your name was not mentioned lightly. It was spoken with hesitation, with emotion, with long pauses that carried more truth than words, and before that meeting ended, tears fell because the truth could no longer stay hidden. You may have felt a sudden heaviness lately, or an unexpected calm mixed with longing, and you couldn't explain why your emotions shifted without warning, but listen to this, that was your soul responding to movement in the spiritual realm. This message is for you because nothing you are feeling is accidental. The universe has been working behind the scenes, aligning conversations, hearts, and realizations around your energy. Don't scroll, because destiny is active right now. In that meeting, someone finally admitted what they had been running from, that losing you changed them, that your absence created a silence they couldn't fill, and that the connection they shared with you was never ordinary, never replaceable, never meant to be dismissed. Tears came when they realized that time didn't erase you, it clarified your value. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. This is soulmate energy awakening, the kind that doesn't fade, the kind that returns stronger after truth is faced. If you've been seeing angel numbers like 1111 when you're deep in thought, 222 when you're questioning your path, or 444 when you need reassurance, understand this clearly, those are signs from the universe confirming alignment. You are in the middle of a spiritual awakening, even if you didn't name it that way. Old versions of you are falling away, your tolerance for confusion is shrinking, and your intuition is growing louder. Don't scroll, listen to this, because when one soul evolves, the other feels it, even from a distance. That meeting ended in tears because someone realized your silence spoke louder than any argument, your distance revealed your worth, and your presence left an imprint that could not be undone. Confessions were made quietly, not for drama, but for honesty. Regret surfaced, not just for losing you, but for not being ready when the universe placed you in their life. This message is for you because you've been wondering why memories resurface, why dreams feel vivid, why your heart feels alert even in stillness. That's because something is shifting. Don't scroll, because this part matters. The universe allowed separation not to punish, but to reveal truth without distraction. Someone had to sit with themselves, without your light softening their edges, and face emotions they avoided. Tears were part of that awakening. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, you were never forgotten, never replaced, never minimized. You were being processed, felt, and realized. You may feel moments of calm mixed with anticipation, like something is approaching but you don't know how or when, and that's your intuition recognizing movement before evidence arrives. This message is for you because you are closer than you think to a revelation. The universe is rearranging courage, timing, and honesty behind the scenes. What was discussed in secret is moving toward the light. Don't scroll, because when communication comes, it will feel different, grounded instead of chaotic, sincere instead of confusing. You healed so you could receive something healthier, clearer, and aligned with who you are now. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. You didn't wait in vain, you didn't grow for nothing, and you didn't find this message by accident. The universe is whispering reassurance, saying trust the signs, trust the stillness, trust yourself. What ended in tears marked the beginning of truth, and what is meant for you does not disappear, it transforms, matures, and returns with understanding. Stay present, because this story is still unfolding, and the next chapter will bring clarity your soul has been preparing for all along. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, especially if you've been feeling like something invisible is shifting around you and you can't explain why. After that meeting ended, the energy didn't disappear, it settled, and settling is often the sign that a decision is forming beneath the surface. Someone connected to your soul walked away carrying the weight of everything that was finally said out loud, and that weight followed them into quiet moments, sleepless nights, and deep reflection. This message is for you because you may have felt sudden waves of emotion without a clear trigger, moments where your chest felt heavy and then strangely calm, and that's because your spirit is tuned into what's unfolding. Don't scroll, because the universe is still speaking. In the days after that meeting, someone realized that avoiding you never brought peace, it only delayed truth. They began to see that every attempt to replace the connection failed, not because others lacked value, but because what was shared with you was divinely specific. This is soulmate energy, the kind that activates growth whether you're ready for it or not. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. They started revisiting memories with new eyes, not from nostalgia, but from understanding, realizing that the moments they once underestimated were actually sacred. Tears returned when they acknowledged that your love didn't just feel good, it challenged them to become more honest, more accountable, more real. Don't scroll, because if you've been seeing angel numbers more frequently, especially during moments when you're not even thinking about them, that's the universe confirming that alignment is happening beyond logic. You're not imagining the pull you feel. You're in a season of spiritual awakening, where clarity replaces confusion and intuition becomes louder than fear. This message is for you because your growth triggered awareness elsewhere. When you stopped chasing, when you chose peace over proof, the dynamic changed. Someone felt that shift deeply. They realized your silence wasn't distance, it was strength. Listen to this carefully, because your heart needs reassurance. You were never an option, you were a turning point. The universe allowed time apart so both souls could evolve separately, learning lessons that could not be learned together. Someone had to confront their own patterns, fears, and emotional avoidance without your presence cushioning the truth. That process was uncomfortable, emotional, and humbling. Tears became teachers. Don't scroll, because this part matters. Awareness has now turned into intention. Someone is recognizing that truth unspoken creates unrest, and that peace requires courage. You may feel less anxious lately, more grounded in yourself, and that's because your soul knows you're ready for what comes next. The universe prepares the receiver before the message arrives. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. When communication begins to move toward you, it will feel different than before. It won't rush you, confuse you, or destabilize you. It will meet you where you are now, stronger, clearer, and more self-aware. This is not about repeating the past, it's about honoring growth. Don't scroll, because destiny doesn't announce itself loudly, it aligns quietly. Someone is learning that love guided by the universe requires presence, consistency, and emotional honesty. They are understanding that reaching out is not about easing loneliness, but about honoring truth. The universe is coordinating timing so that when paths cross again, they do so with intention, not impulse. This message is for you because you didn't wait in vain, you didn't heal for nothing, and you didn't stumble onto this moment by accident. The calm you feel is confirmation. The clarity you're gaining is preparation. Trust the signs, trust the stillness, trust your intuition, because what is unfolding now carries purpose, and what is meant for you is no longer hiding, it is finding its way forward with understanding, respect, and truth that will finally allow your heart to rest. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, especially if you've been feeling a quiet certainty growing inside you without knowing where it came from. Something has continued unfolding since everything shifted, not loudly, not dramatically, but steadily, like the universe tightening the threads of destiny around what is meant to happen next. Someone connected to your soul has been sitting with truth longer than ever before, not running from it, not distracting themselves from it, but actually allowing it to speak. This message is for you because you may have felt moments of deep reflection lately, moments where you suddenly understand things that once confused you, and that clarity is not random, it is preparation. Don't scroll, because alignment is happening now. After the emotions settled, after the tears dried, understanding began to replace denial. Someone realized that the connection with you wasn't intense because it was unstable, it was intense because it was real. They are recognizing that what they felt wasn't attachment, it was recognition, the kind that shakes you because it mirrors parts of yourself you haven't healed yet. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. You didn't imagine the way everything felt different with them, and they are now realizing the same thing. They are seeing that the universe used distance to teach them what closeness couldn't at the time. Without you there, they had no choice but to face themselves, their fears of vulnerability, their habit of pulling away when things felt too meaningful. Tears came again, not from sadness alone, but from awareness. Don't scroll, because if you've been noticing angel numbers appearing during moments of calm instead of chaos, understand this clearly, that means the lesson is integrating. You are no longer being shaken awake, you are being gently guided forward. This message is for you because you've grown into someone who no longer begs for clarity, you trust your intuition now, and that trust is magnetic. When you stopped questioning your worth, the universe adjusted the entire dynamic. Someone felt that shift deeply. They realized that the version of you standing now is stronger, more grounded, and less willing to accept half-truths. Listen to this carefully, because your heart needs reassurance. You are not being pulled back into the past is being brought forward for resolution. The universe doesn't recycle lessons, it completes them. Someone is understanding that unfinished truth creates restlessness, and that peace requires honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. They are feeling the weight of words unspoken, realizing that silence once used for protection is now the very thing standing between them and alignment. Don't scroll, because this is where intention solidifies. You may feel a strange calm lately, like you're no longer afraid of outcomes, and that's because your soul knows you'll be okay regardless. That emotional independence changed everything. The universe responds when you choose yourself. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. When movement reaches you, it won't come from desperation, it will come from clarity. Someone is preparing to approach with humility instead of ego, truth instead of excuses, presence instead of promises. They are learning that love guided by destiny demands maturity. This is soulmate energy evolving beyond fantasy into responsibility. Don't scroll, because the universe is also preparing you to receive differently. You are no longer waiting to be chosen, you are choosing alignment. That shift ensures that what comes next will not drain you, it will meet you. If you felt your reactions soften, your emotions stabilize, your confidence deepen, that's because your soul recognizes that the chaos phase has passed. Listen to this, because timing is aligning layers now. Courage is forming on one side, readiness on the other. Neither is being rushed, neither is being forced. This is divine coordination. Someone is realizing that reaching out is not about reopening wounds, it's about closing them properly. They understand that what was shared with you deserves respect, not avoidance. Don't scroll, because this message found you intentionally. You are being reminded that what is meant for you does not require you to shrink, chase, or doubt yourself. It arrives when you are steady enough to receive it without losing yourself. Trust the stillness. Trust the signs. Trust the calm certainty growing inside you. The universe is not bringing confusion back into your life, it is bringing truth forward, and when that truth reaches you, it will feel clear, grounded, and aligned with the person you have become. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, especially if you've been feeling like you're standing on the edge of something important without being able to name it. The universe has not gone quiet, it has gone precise, and precision always comes right before alignment reveals itself. Since everything shifted, someone connected to your soul has been moving through a deep internal transformation, not driven by fear anymore, but by understanding. This message is for you because you may have noticed how your emotions feel steadier now, how you're less reactive, less desperate for answers, and more rooted in yourself, and that change didn't happen by accident. Don't scroll, because your growth changed the entire energetic dynamic. When you stopped questioning your worth and started honoring your peace, the universe responded by rearranging truths elsewhere. Someone is realizing that the connection they shared with you wasn't intense because it was unstable, it was intense because it demanded honesty they weren't ready to give at the time. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. They are seeing clearly now that avoiding you didn't protect them, it delayed their awakening. In the quiet moments, without distraction, without noise, they are finally understanding that what they felt with you was not something to outrun, but something to grow into. Tears may still come, but now they come from clarity, not confusion. Don't scroll, because this is where accountability forms. Someone is recognizing their patterns, the moments they chose comfort over courage, silence over truth, and distance over vulnerability. That awareness is heavy, but it's also freeing. The universe does not awaken souls gently when something sacred is involved. If you've been seeing angel numbers appear less frequently but feeling more certain inside, understand this clearly, that means alignment is stabilizing. Signs shout when we are asleep, and they whisper when we are awake. This message is for you because you are awake now. You've reached a place where you no longer need reassurance to feel secure, and that emotional independence shifted everything. Listen to this carefully, because your heart needs reassurance. You are not being tested anymore, you are being trusted. The universe trusts you not to abandon yourself when truth approaches. Someone is preparing to step forward differently than before, not impulsively, not emotionally reactive, but intentionally. They understand now that approaching you requires emotional maturity, honesty, and consistency, not promises spoken in moments of longing. Don't scroll, because this part matters. You may feel less attached to specific outcomes lately, more focused on how things feel rather than how they look, and that's because your intuition has taken the lead. The universe prepared you to receive from a place of strength, not fear. Someone is understanding that real love is not about intensity alone, it's about responsibility. They are realizing that the version of you standing now cannot be met with old patterns or half-effort. This realization didn't come easily, it came through loss, reflection, and inner work. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. You are not being pulled backward, you are being met at a higher level. The past is not repeating, it is resolving. The universe does not bring closure and new beginnings separately when both are needed. Someone is feeling the pull to speak truth, not because they are afraid of losing you, but because they are afraid of losing themselves by staying silent. Don't scroll, because silence has reached its limit. You may notice a sense of calm anticipation, like you're ready for whatever comes, and that readiness is exactly what alignment feels like. The universe is coordinating courage on one side and openness on the other. Neither is being rushed, neither is being forced. This is divine timing in motion. Someone is learning that approaching you now is not about fixing the past, but about honoring what still exists. They are understanding that some connections are not meant to fade quietly, they are meant to transform consciously. This message is for you because you've done the work to receive clarity without losing yourself. When communication comes, it will not shake your foundation, it will confirm it. Trust how it feels in your body, steady instead of anxious, clear instead of overwhelming. The universe is saying stay grounded, stay open, stay present. You are not waiting in uncertainty, you are standing in readiness. What is unfolding now carries respect, intention, and truth, and when it reaches you, it will meet you exactly where you are, aligned with the person you have become, not the version you once were. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, especially if you've been feeling a deep inner calm mixed with a quiet sense of anticipation that you can't fully explain. The universe has been guiding you into a space of emotional stability for a reason, and that reason is becoming clearer with each passing moment. Someone connected to your soul has reached a point where reflection has turned into resolve, and resolve always signals that movement is close. This message is for you because you may have noticed how you're no longer consumed by questions the way you once were, how your emotions feel less chaotic and more grounded, and that shift didn't happen randomly. Don't scroll, because your growth altered the energetic balance. When you chose self-respect over waiting in pain, when you chose healing over chasing clarity, the universe responded by aligning truth elsewhere. Someone is realizing now that the connection they shared with you was not something they lost because of bad timing, but something they mishandled because of fear. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. They are understanding that walking away didn't give them freedom, it forced them into a deeper confrontation with themselves. Without your presence to soften reality, they had to face emotions they avoided, patterns they repeated, and truths they buried. Tears came again, not from longing alone, but from accountability. Don't scroll, because accountability is the doorway to alignment. If you've been seeing angel numbers appear during moments of peace instead of stress, understand this clearly: that means integration is happening. The lesson is no longer chaotic, it's settling into wisdom. This message is for you because you've grown into someone who no longer needs reassurance to feel secure. You trust your intuition now, and that trust is magnetic. When you stopped doubting yourself, the universe shifted the entire timeline. Someone felt that shift deeply. They realized that the version of you standing now is stronger, calmer, and unwilling to accept half-effort or emotional confusion. Listen carefully, because your heart needs reassurance. You are not being pulled back into an old cycle. You are being invited into a new alignment. The universe does not repeat lessons it intends to complete. Someone is recognizing that unfinished truth creates internal unrest, and peace can only come through honesty. They are feeling the weight of words unspoken, understanding that silence once used for protection has become the barrier to growth. Don't scroll, because this is the moment where courage begins to outweigh fear. You may feel less emotionally attached to outcomes lately, more focused on your inner peace, and that's because your soul knows you will be okay regardless. That emotional independence changed everything. The universe responds when you stop abandoning yourself. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. When movement reaches you, it will not come from desperation or impulse, it will come from clarity and intention. Someone is preparing to approach you with humility instead of pride, truth instead of excuses, and presence instead of promises. They are learning that love guided by destiny requires maturity, consistency, and emotional honesty. This is soulmate energy evolving beyond fantasy into responsibility. Don't scroll, because the universe is also preparing you to receive differently. You are no longer waiting to be chosen, you are choosing alignment. That shift ensures that what comes next will not drain you, it will meet you. If you felt your reactions soften, your emotions stabilize, your confidence deepen, that's because your soul recognizes that the chaos phase has passed. Listen to this, because timing is aligning in layers now. Courage is forming on one side, readiness on the other, and neither is being rushed or forced. This is divine coordination. Someone is realizing that reaching out is not about reopening wounds, but about closing them properly, with honesty and respect. They understand now that what was shared with you deserves acknowledgement, not avoidance. Don't scroll, because this message found you intentionally. You are being reminded that what is meant for you does not require you to shrink, chase, or question your worth. It arrives when you are steady enough to receive it without losing yourself. Trust the stillness. Trust the signs. Trust the calm certainty growing inside you. The universe is not bringing confusion back into your life, it is bringing truth forward, and when that truth reaches you, it will feel steady, grounded, and aligned with the person you have become, confirming that every step of your journey prepared you for this exact moment. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, especially if you've been feeling like everything inside you has finally slowed down while something outside you is quietly preparing to move. The universe is not creating noise anymore, it is creating certainty, and certainty always arrives after deep internal work. Someone connected to your soul has crossed a line they can't uncross, a point of awareness where pretending no longer works and avoidance feels heavier than honesty. This message is for you because you may have noticed how you're no longer anxious about the future, how you're not replaying old conversations the same way, and how your energy feels more settled than it ever has. That didn't happen by accident. Don't scroll, because your growth signaled the universe that you are ready for truth without losing yourself. When you chose peace over proving your worth, when you stopped explaining your pain to people who couldn't hear it, the entire energetic field shifted. Someone felt that shift immediately. They realized that your distance wasn't rejection, it was alignment. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. They are understanding that what they felt with you was not something created by circumstance, it was something awakened by destiny. The connection didn't challenge them because it was wrong, it challenged them because it demanded emotional presence they weren't prepared to give at the time. Tears came not only from missing you, but from seeing themselves clearly for the first time. Don't scroll, because clarity always stings before it heals. In the silence, without distraction, they had to face the truth that no one else mirrored them the way you did, no one else exposed their fears and potential at the same time. That realization was humbling. If you've been seeing angel numbers appear during moments of stillness rather than stress, understand this clearly, that means integration is happening. The lesson is no longer chaotic, it's settling into wisdom. This message is for you because you are no longer asking the universe for signs out of fear, you are noticing them with calm awareness. Listen to this carefully, because your heart needs reassurance. You are not about to be pulled into emotional turbulence again. You are being met at a level of clarity you didn't have before. The universe does not bring truth back into your life unless it can be received safely. Someone is realizing that approaching you now requires more than words, it requires consistency, accountability, and emotional maturity. They understand that the version of you standing now cannot be met with half-effort or old patterns. Don't scroll, because this part matters. You may feel emotionally neutral in a good way lately, not detached, but steady, and that's because your soul has anchored itself in self-trust. That self-trust changed the dynamic completely. The universe responds when you stop abandoning yourself to keep connections alive. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Someone is feeling the pull to speak truth not because they are afraid of losing you, but because they are afraid of living out of alignment any longer. Silence has started to feel heavier than vulnerability. They are realizing that peace does not come from distance, it comes from honesty. This is soulmate energy reaching its responsibility phase. Don't scroll, because the universe is also preparing you to listen differently. You are no longer listening for reassurance, you are listening for resonance. That discernment ensures that what comes next will not confuse you. You will recognize truth by how calm your body feels, not by how intense your emotions are. If you've noticed your reactions soften, your boundaries strengthen, and your confidence deepen, that's because your soul knows you are no longer in a lesson phase, you are in a receiving phase. Listen to this carefully, because timing is aligning in layers. Courage is forming on one side, openness on the other, and neither is being rushed. This is divine timing, not emotional impulse. Someone is understanding that reaching out now is not about revisiting the past, it's about honoring the present truth of the connection. They are learning that real love is not proven by longing, but by action aligned with integrity. Don't scroll, because this message found you intentionally. You are being reminded that you are not an option someone realizes too late. You are a catalyst for growth, awakening, and truth. What is meant for you does not return to destabilize you, it returns to meet you where you are now. Trust the stillness. Trust your intuition. Trust the calm certainty growing inside you. The universe is not bringing confusion back into your life, it is bringing resolution forward, and when that resolution reaches you, it will feel steady, respectful, and aligned with the person you have become, confirming that everything you endured prepared you for this exact moment. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, especially if you've been feeling a deep sense of completion mixed with quiet expectation, like something important is finally settling into place. The universe does not rush endings or beginnings, it allows them to meet at the exact moment when the soul is ready, and right now you are standing in that moment. Everything that led here, the silence, the growth, the emotional stretching, the patience you didn't know you had, was shaping you into someone who could receive truth without losing peace. This message is for you because you are no longer asking the universe for answers out of fear, you are listening with trust, and that trust has changed everything. Someone connected to your soul has reached acceptance, not the passive kind, but the kind that carries responsibility and action. They understand now that what they felt with you was never meant to fade quietly, it was meant to mature into honesty. Don't scroll, because this is where clarity replaces uncertainty. You may have noticed how your emotions feel calmer now, how your thoughts don't spiral the way they once did, and how you feel okay even without knowing every detail, and that's because your soul has integrated the lesson. The universe doesn't keep you in waiting mode once wisdom is gained. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Someone has realized that silence protected them only temporarily, but truth is what will finally bring peace. They are understanding that avoiding you didn't erase the connection, it only delayed the moment they would have to face themselves. Tears came not from longing alone, but from humility, from seeing clearly where fear once stood. Don't scroll, because humility is the doorway to alignment. If you've been seeing fewer signs but feeling more certainty, understand this clearly, that's not loss of guidance, that's confirmation. The universe becomes quiet when alignment is stable. This message is for you because you are no longer in survival mode emotionally, you are in discernment mode. You are not waiting to be chosen, you are choosing what feels aligned with your growth. That shift ensured that whatever comes next will not destabilize you. Listen carefully, because your heart needs reassurance. You are not about to repeat the past. The past has already served its purpose. What is approaching you carries intention, maturity, and truth. Someone is preparing to meet you without masks, without games, without emotional shortcuts. They understand now that love guided by destiny requires presence, consistency, and accountability. Don't scroll, because this is soulmate energy reaching its resolution point. You may feel a sense of emotional neutrality lately, not numbness, but balance, and that balance is what allows truth to land gently instead of painfully. The universe protected you during the waiting so you wouldn't lose yourself when clarity arrived. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. You did not heal just to be tested again. You healed to be met. Someone is realizing that approaching you now is not about fixing the past, but about honoring the present version of you. They know that the person you are today cannot be met with old patterns or half-effort. This realization came through loss, reflection, and growth, and the universe honors that process. Don't scroll, because timing is converging. Courage has formed on one side, openness on the other, and neither is being forced. This is divine coordination. You may feel ready for whatever comes, not because you expect a certain outcome, but because you trust yourself, and that trust is the greatest sign of alignment. Listen carefully, because your heart needs peace. What comes next will not rush you, confuse you, or ask you to abandon yourself. It will meet you calmly, honestly, and clearly. You will recognize it not by intensity, but by how steady your body feels. This message found you because the universe wanted to remind you that you are not an afterthought, not a lesson someone outgrows, not a story that ends quietly. You are a turning point. What is meant for you arrives with respect, truth, and understanding, and when it does, you will finally see why every moment of waiting, every moment of growth, and every moment of silence prepared you for this exact alignment, allowing your heart to rest in the knowing that everything unfolded exactly as it was meant to.